Oh, really? No.
Do it.
No.
Do it. Ridiculous.
I'm wondering where we're going with this.
How do other musicians even talk to you? Why are we in black?
What kind of show is this?
They're totally inspiring.
I got hotel keys in every pocket.
This was a Beachcombers episode. You ripped this off.
You are watching Stripped Down. You are watching Stripped Down, Saskatchewan's only 1 hour local music showcase, the award-winning show that brings the venue to you in the comfort of your own living room. I am your host, Curtis Anderson. We have a huge night for you tonight on Stripped Down. Returning to the Stripped Down stage, ladies and gentlemen, it's Karrnnel. Yeah, you are watching Strip Down with Karrnnel, making his return to the Strip Down stage. Oh man, what was it? About May 2009, somewhere during the second season? Is that about right?
I think so, yeah, 2009. I just released my first CD.
You were with Mr. Ray Bell, was
Ray
it?
Bell, that's right, yeah.
You brought along a new entourage today, but before we do some introductions, I want to say thank you. Thank you for requesting to come back onto Strip Down.
Yeah, I was calling you, endlessly. I was like,
yeah,
please,
well,
Curtis,
not quite
please,
that,
Curtis.
but no, I mean, when Strip Down began, we thought it was going to be like, the launching point, the up-and-comers would want to be on the show, but especially this last season, there's been a lot of, people who were big names the first time they were on the show. They're even bigger names now that have been requesting to come back, like you, Carrie, Catherine. That makes us feel really good about the show.
No, it's great.
So thank you very much for coming back.
It does a lot of things for music in Saskatoon, so it's great.
Well, thank you very much. Karrnnel, back on the Strip Down stage, not with Ray Bell. You have two new musicians with you. Let's do some introductions here.
To my right, we have Louis Charles Vigneault. He's from the Gulf of the St. Lawrence, the Magdalen Islands from Quebec. And we first met in Charlottetown 2009, June 2010, over a kitchen party, basically a big jam / party. And I think I woke up and I didn't remember who he was. And then it was a long night.
Fair enough.
And then, to my left we have Daniel Kulak. He's from Winnipeg, Manitoba. And he's been playing music for basically his entire life. Mm-hmm. He started banjo when you were what?
I started when I was 11 on the banjo and fiddle before that.
And now he plays literally everything, and he's played with pretty much everyone across Canada. Juno nominated for his 2 CDs, and just a talent. Everyone knows Daniel Kulak from Winnipeg, so.
That's, again, amazing, as we talked about right off the top of the show. Someone as big as yourself coming back to Strip Down, and then you're bringing along, musicians of this caliber, not from Saskatchewan. It's just, it's a cool night for the show. We were ending season 4 too.
Sweet.
I don't know if this may be the last episode. We may do one more. We had a huge kind of finale plan that we were going to shoot sometime next week or the week after, but that isn't going to happen. So now I don't know. We just found that out about 20 minutes before the show started. So this may be the last episode for season 4. So if it is, thank you.
It's a pleasure.
What are we going to hear tonight? What's been going on in the life of Karrnnel since you were last here just about 2 years ago?
Well, what happened? I had my first CD released in 2009.
Yep.
And then since then I've been playing a lot of festivals.
And the cool thing about that, if I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, you used your CD release party as a fundraiser.
That's right.
That's rare.
Yeah.
Giving back.
Fundraised for the Children's Crisis Nursery in Saskatoon.
Yep.
And then, since then, basically, been playing a lot. And then Daniel and I actually recorded an album June. It was released last year, so June 2010. It's just simply called Fiddle and Banjo.
Okay.
And we were nominated for a couple of Canadian Folk Music Awards, and have been playing a lot together since then, basically promoting that.
So are you gentlemen in Saskatoon this week as part of a tour, or are you now here? Did Karrnnel bring you over, or is it just because I'm sure you guys didn't all fly up or drive up just to be on Strip Down? I'm guessing.
We're no, we're here. Karrnnel called us up and he said, you guys want to come for a couple weeks in June? And we both said, sure, that would be fun. Fun to play with these guys. And so I think Karrnnel sort of had the dates planned and a couple of gigs that he knew were in the books, and then just built around that.
And we'll try to build a bunch of school shows. So we do school shows as well. Kind of promoting old-time dance and old-time music in schools. But you couldn't talk of a worse time to try and do school shows with the strike on.
Fair enough.
So that was
normally, how receptive are the, what age are we talking about?
Usually elementary kids. We've done some high schools before, but...
So they're just a little jaded?
Yeah. Not quite completely yet. Well on their way.
Yeah, they're receptive though? Seems like
they love it, yeah. It's always the kids that walk in and they have that smug look on their face. They're not going to dance. Then half an hour into it, they're dancing, and then you look at them and they stop dancing, and then,
Because that's what you do.
Exactly.
You get people dancing.
Exactly.
So you enjoyed your time in Saskatoon, first time. You guys have been here.
Yeah, I think it's the third time I come
here
here since January, so it's been
fun. Back and forth, yeah. Enjoying your time here?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's it like working with Karrnnel?
It's really trying. But Louis Charles is such a great guy that it kind of compensates for it.
We are promoting the show at the Broadway Theater Saturday the 18th with the Eclipse Choir.
That's right, yeah.
All that information was correct?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
See, we had kind of a technical difficulty before we started rolling, so I didn't have a whole lot of prep time. But we got to give a big shout out to Brock Andrews. We'll get a shot of him and talk to him later. But he's our fill and audio guy for tonight. He really came through and made it happen. So again, there's lots going on. This might be Jennifer Juba's last episode, who has been one of the crew members since episode 1. So if it is her last episode, if this is the last episode of season 4, it's kind of fun because it kind of ended as it began for Jen, where there's a bunch of technical difficulties before we started rolling, and we have no idea what to do. And so if that is Jen and for Juba's send-off, it's a fitting one. What are we going to hear tonight? Stuff that we are going to hear at the Broadway Theater?
Yeah, a bunch of stuff. We'll probably play some of the stuff at the Broadway Theater on the 18th.
Minus the Eclipse Choir?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And then we're going to feature Louis. He's going to sing a couple French-Canadian songs. Going to feature a couple of our, Daniel and mine, fiddle and banjo songs, and just a couple of new songs that I've written, some new tunes. So.
Okay. What was the first thing we heard right off the top?
A couple of tunes. One is Bennett's Reel. I think it's an Eastern Canadian reel. And another jig I don't know about. I don't know the name. I have no idea what it's called. And the last one was, we played Trip to Windsor, another Eastern Canadian reel, and the last one was Reel d'Armand. And that's a Calvin Walrathum, a fiddle player from Alberta. So.
All right. I usually ask, what's song 2 going to be? Where are we going to go next? But you know what? Surprise me.
Beautiful.
There's just such an arrangement of instruments and talent on the stage. I just want to sit back and listen.
Beautiful.
Watching Stripped Down. That was beautiful, Karrnnel, and guests. It always seems weird when I look back and watch the highlights of your episode that you did and what you and Ray Bell did back in 2009, just because there's no lyrics.
Yeah.
Like, there's no vocals. And that was the only time ever in the history of Stripped Down we've done a show where there was no vocals. It was cool. I remember it changed the game up a little bit. That was when still everything was kind of new, and the crew was like, what's our other shot if we're not shooting his mouth? It forced them to be creative, and we've been a better team as a result.
It was fun, yeah.
All right, we have to gear up for our first commercial break, but stick around. We have lots more Stripped Down coming up right after this.
The following sponsors are proud to support local community programming on Shaw. Long and McQuaid, 721 43rd Street East, Saskatoon, 244-0509, or online at long-mcquaid.com. Ultimo Euromoto. (204 3rd Avenue South in downtown Saskatoon), 664-6640.
You are watching Stripped Down. We're spending an hour with Karrnnel, Daniel, and Louis. Sorry, I'm getting it all down here. You guys should just have some sort of like really easy band name for me so I can just be like, hey, we're back with like, Special K or something. Not to memorize so many names.
You're not the first person to say that. That's really
because
funny.
it's late. You guys are down here. You're not from these parts. So do you travel back? Is it like a trade? Are you constantly traveling too?
That's
or
why I
just
brought
making them
Yeah,
come?
I'm glad you brought it up because they don't know that yet. But yeah, that's the expectation. So.
Is that you're coming back now?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean I travel a lot, and they, it's a pleasure to play with them. So if I can go out there anytime, absolutely. So.
Karrnnel's coming to Winnipeg in a couple of weeks.
All right. Before we talk further, again, we're going to talk about the big event on Broadway Theater Saturday 18th. But now's the time we throw it over to this week's audio guy. Who's it going to be? When you look back at season 4, there was Ben and Colton and Ben and Colton, and this guy looks like James Franco and Ben and Colton. But this time, once again, it's Mr. Brock Andrews. Brock Andrews, welcome back to Stripped Down. Saving the day once again, Bennett Dobney not being able to make it at the last minute for possibly the final show of season 4. Brock Andrews steps up once again. How are you doing, sir?
Doing very well. I'm enjoying my front row VIP ticket to the Karrnnel show.
It's true. And thank you once again for fixing our audio problem. You and director Jay Neufeld. Things go wrong. I sit here and shrug my shoulders, and that's about as much as I can do. But you and Jay really hammered it out. It sounds great. It was just it was a board problem, apparently. Again, nobody at home saw it, but there was some confusion and stress before we started taping tonight's episode. So thank you for clearing all that up, Mr. Brock Andrews. Thank you for coming in at the last minute and making this show a success. Have you been watching season 4?
Of course I have been.
Of course you have been.
Even if I wasn't, I would tell you I have been.
It was a ride.
Yes.
It was definitely
very
a ride,
good.
Mr. Brock Andrews. What's
glad
going
I
on
could
with
be
you
here.
these days, really quickly, before we throw it back to Karrnnel?
Have a big co-write single coming out on CMT radio right away, well, country radio. And I just picked up a new songwriting contract today for another artist from Vancouver, so.
Nice.
Some stuff coming up in the future. So
Again, on
keep me
behalf
busy
of the
with
staff, thanks for dropping everything and coming in to save the show tonight.
You're very
Especially
welcome.
when we have this caliber of musicians in the Stripped Down studio tonight. Okay, Saturday the 18th, the Broadway Theater. You gentlemen and the Eclipse Choir.
Yeah, so we're kind of like the guest artists, I guess, for the night. So we'll be
Okay.
playing some of our own stuff. It's kind of like what's going on right now.
Yeah,
And
only with the
then-
choir.
I mean, yeah, we'll play with them for some of their stuff that they do. So
Okay.
they're doing like some Sarah McLachlan song. And that's the theme of the night is Canadian songs, like basically famous Canadian songs.
Nice.
So I don't remember all of them off the top of my head, but yeah, it's basically the most famous Canadian songs you'll hear that night. So
That's kind of fun opportunity.
yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah?
So
What are you guys bringing to the table? Are you nervous? Are you going to...
no, I think we're just bringing our spontaneity. Or his,
Spontaneity.
yeah.
Well done. Speaking of spontaneity, let's go to another song. See how I just threw into that like that? What's song number 3?
We're gonna let Louis Charles sing a song here, and there's a little story I think behind it. I don't know if you want to tell it now, Louis.
Please tell.
Well, the song is telling the story by itself, but
Okay.
but it's in French. So I believe there's a couple of French communities in Saskatoon, which is very nice to travel and discover other French culture in Canada. But it's a French song I heard home, and it's about the prairies. Love story between a guy from East Coast came here and work and met lovely, wonderful prairie girls that left him alone while he was working in the fields. So here we go.
Au loin, là-bas, ces grandes prairies, je travaille pour gagner mon pain. Le seul plaisir que j'ai dans cette vie, c'est de voir le ciel du matin. Je suis né orphelin sur cette terre, je n'ai pas connu mes parents. Et si j'avais un père et une mère, un foyer, tout serait charmant. J'avais un ami qui dans les prairies me suivait partout chaque jour. Dans une bagarre on lui enleva la vie, le bandit pendu de mes jours. J'ai gardé son permis, son gréement, son bateau, sa photo est mon souvenir. Et gardien chevalier des prairies, protège-moi de ces assauts. Le seul plaisir que j'ai dans cette vie, c'est de voir le ciel du matin. Je suis né orphelin sur cette terre, je n'ai pas connu mes parents. Mais si j'avais un père et une mère, un foyer, tout serait charmant. Même si j'avais un père et une mère, un foyer, tout serait charmant.
Nice. You were watching Strip Down. That song was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
True story, you're talking about French musicians. About a month ago, we had Veronique Poulin, who did half her set in French on Strip Down.
Good.
It was a good show. So yes, there are people who speak French that watch our show. So there you go. So that was for those viewers. Yeah, I kind of cut that last question off really quickly about the Broadway Theater Saturday, September 18th with the Eclipse Choir, because we were just going a little heavy on time. I wanted to get to another song. And I've got the energy drink Brock Andrews brought me coursing through my veins, so I'm a little jittery. But how does something like that happen? Like, how does that show come together? You got, you from Saskatoon, these gentlemen from out of province, the Eclipse Choir at the Broadway Theater. Like, who put something like that together?
Well, They basically, the Eclipse Choir contacted me and they said we're thinking about having me for the guest artist, and we kind of talked back and forth, and I kind of told them what I was kind of thinking in terms of musicians and people to bring in, and kind of sold them on the idea, and then called these guys and they were available, thank God, and here they are. So,
how hard is it going to be to get people in the Broadway theater up and dancing?
I don't think
it's not impossible.
No,
They just have to
actually,
keep their space.
we had a show there March 22nd. Actually, all three of us and the three of the musicians. It was called 6 Musicians, 1 Stage, and we had people dancing in the Broadway theater. So,
How does that make you feel when
Good.
you get people out of their seats? Because they must actually have to like go to the aisles or what?
yeah, and like pass people and like popcorn on the ground and that whole thing. So yeah,
All right.
it's good.
So who should come see this show?
Everybody,
Everybody?
really, yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah, there's going to be some French songs. There's going to be some banjo. Everyone loves banjo. Some fiddle, obviously. There's going to be some choir stuff, and there's going to be everything. So everyone should come out.
You guys excited? Big night back at Broadway Theater Choir. What are your thoughts going into the 18th here?
I have no idea who is the people we're going to play with, so it's very exciting, of course, to meet another crew of musicians. But it's always great fun to play with Danielle and Karrnnel on this kind of stage. It's been a blast last time with the crew there, so I'm very excited.
How receptive is Saskatoon to the sound?
Great. Actually, there's a really a big growing fiddle community, and we're kind of like a stronghold even amongst Canada. There's just, I guess, the right amount of, or the right people that are growing fiddle music and promoting fiddle music, and just that whole kind of subculture, I suppose. And it's really kind of a place to be, I guess, and a place that's doing things. So,
how do you reach out to the fiddle community? Like, how do you, are they all in Saskatoon or surrounding area?
No, I mean,
is it an online thing, or
yeah.
you just do a show and you see like 100 people with their fiddles in the crowd cheering you on?
Well, I mean, there's people everywhere that play the fiddle.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that, all ages, we teach at camps. All of us teach at different camps throughout Canada, basically. And I mean, I've taught at one class where I had a 10-year-old and I also had a 70-year-old. So it's everybody.
Okay. Yeah, we got to get to more music. We are burning through so much time, and I want to make sure you get all the music in because it's sounding so fantastic tonight. There's just like a billion things going on. It must be near the end of the season because it's all coming to a head here on Stripped Down. But where do we go next? Song
We're
number
going to play
4.
a tune called Andy Bruins Reel. And since the Stanley Cup Finals on, I think we should call it the Anti-Bruins Reel.
Oh.
I'm not a Bruins fan, so.
But that's where the history is. No?
Come on, you got to go for Canada.
Okay. And just like that, we're out of there. You're watching Strip Down with Karrnnel. And I don't know if Jesse can get a shot of these people, but another thing that's kind of weird tonight, there's a camera crew shooting Strip Down's camera crew, which is shooting the show. What's up with that? You come with an entourage, my friend.
Always do, yeah. Just doing a little promo video kind of thing, and so they're just grabbing a bunch of different clips for everyone to
kind of like a reality show thing.
Yeah, exactly. The Fiddle reality show. It's going to be huge.
Yeah,
it's going to be massive.
You make it some sort of montage for.
It's like Gene Simmons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Family jewels, fiddle jewels.
But really, just want to remember where you've been, or.
Yeah, and just
a lot of nights, like when you guys met, a lot of kitchen parties. So it's better to just hire someone to walk around with a camera to remind you what's actually going on in the life of Karrnnel.
If you want to, or if you do want to. So yeah, it's good.
Okay, where can people see these pictures and stuff, or is that just yet to be determined?
It'll be coming on my website.
And what's your website?
My first name, Karrnnel, which is KARRNNEL.com.
Yeah, people are not going to remember that, so let's put that up.
No.
2 R's, 2 N's, Karrnnel.com. What else can you find on Karrnnel.com?
You can find information about upcoming gigs, some pictures, some videos, information about me, about these guys, and anybody basically that I like to play with. So
nice. All right. We have to gear up for our second commercial break, but again, we're burning through time, and I apologize for that. But stick around. We got lots more with Karrnnel coming up right after this.
My heart used to. This is my soul, my heart used to.
Mr. Sicily Pizza and Pasta is proud to sponsor community programming on Shaw TV. Mr. Sicily, located at the corner of 51st and Miller in the north end of Saskatoon. 975-0345. Ladies and gentlemen, Karrnnel. And that concludes our first ever stomp solo in Strip Down's history. It took us 124 episodes, but we pulled it off. What was that amazing number?
It was actually 2 tunes. One tune I wrote called L'Acteur Louis Charles, after Louis Charles.
Fair enough.
And another tune called Fleur de Montregard. I think that's right. Yeah.
And that was actually where I was going to go next. Original material.
Yeah.
Do you have to make it? Do you choose to make it? Do you make any, like, what's the ratio? Seems like there's kind of hundreds and thousands of years of built-in.
Yeah, I mean, there's endless tunes,
Yeah.
obviously, but it's just the creative thing, right? I mean, anybody who's an artist of any sort just likes to create. And I've actually been doing an exercise since August where I'm writing a fiddle tune every week. So since August, I have like 40 new tunes, basically. Some which are just complete crap. But there's actually a lot of good ones that have come out of it, so.
You're a busy guy.
Yeah.
You do a lot, and again, it's just nice to see it's so important to you to give back. You do the school stuff. Again, your first CD release was a fundraiser for the Crisis Nursery. That's kind of incredible. So again, pretty important for you to be a presence in the community, giving back.
Yeah.
Any particular reason for that, or you're just a hell of a guy?
No. You know, I grew up in a family with music, and family was really important, obviously. So you just kind of grow on that. And then if the fiddle community and any kind of music community it's always about, you know, family, and it doesn't have to be blood relatives, but you just kind of grow people that are, or grow close to people, and it's just about growing that sense of community. So
no real connection to the Crisis Nursery other than it's near and dear to your heart?
Actually, I'm a part of a charity organization, and we actually chose them to be our kind of our charity. And then when I learned what they do, I just kind of decided it was a good cause. So
you appeared on Strip Down 2009. Then I think the following year you were playing the Mayor's Cultural Gala. Pretty big gig.
Yeah, it was pretty. For Saskatoon,
nonchalant about it. Yeah, cultural gala.
Yeah, it was fun. It was good.
It was at Amigos that night. So, thoughts? Look back on that. That's a pretty big deal. Don't be humble about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you just you get the gig and you do your best and you have fun, and then you look back on it and you're like, yeah, that was actually like really fun. And I don't think you really can focus on who you're playing for or what you're playing for. At least I try not to, because you're playing the same thing no matter what, really. So.
Yeah. When I was asking you before about who should come to the show, and then I abandoned the question because I didn't really know where I was going with it, but the point I was trying to make is that your music is kind of ageless. Like, I could see my son loving it. I could see my grandpa loving it. It's a good ageless sound. So what do you see when you look out into the audience?
It depends where you are, and depends what kind of promotions you've done. Typically, with the people here, fiddle player, they're going to be an older audience, typically, and that's just because I think that's the way that tradition's kind of kept going. And there's kind of patches where in certain generations there's a gap in terms of the fiddle or the fiddle music kind of thing. But it's kind of growing back, so it's pretty diverse. Like last night we played in Karrnnel, Saskatchewan, and there was basically all ages there. So.
Yeah, the young crew seems to be more and more interested by that.
Well, that's good. What do you think the reason for that is?
Well, there's a lot of opportunities for them now to learn, like the folk music. Our music could be played in folk festivals, and when I was a teenager, I just loved the acoustic sound of any kind of folk music. So now they see fiddle and they see that, oh, it's in my culture. And then there's several camps they can go in the summer, and also with the technology now, it's so easy to, you want to play guitar, you want to play fiddle, just sit and listen and practice. It's before our ancestor tried to learn the fiddle with the radio, they couldn't press pause at all, and they learn it. So now it's easy.
Yeah. I mean, with technology now, it makes everything a lot easier, like we were saying. So
you still have to have the desire.
That's true.
And the time, and the God-given ability to do it at a high level. But that being said, we have like 15 minutes left and 3 songs. So let's get to one more song before we take our last commercial break. Where do we go?
We're going to play 2 of Daniel's compositions. We recorded these on our recording together. It's a track called "The Paddle in the Hat."
You're watching Strip Down. We have to take our last commercial break of the show, possibly our last commercial break of the season. So get your fill of the Waterwear Girl coming up right now. We got lots more Strip Down after this last commercial break.
But I was afraid.
Do you know where your tap water comes from? It can come from one of two sources, groundwater or surface water. Surface water often begins as snowfall that accumulates in the winter and melts into our rivers and lakes. Cities will treat it to get rid of most of the impurities and then send it down the pipes, under the streets, and into our homes. The problem is, the quality of water is being damaged by our activities, and as our earth warms up, there may be less water available in the future. How can we look after our water resources? Find out where your water comes from and how it is being protected. Use less when you're showering, brushing your teeth, or watering your lawn. And never pour toxins like cleaning solutions down a toilet, sink, or storm drain as it ends up in our rivers and lakes. It's our turn to take care of this planet, and I think we can do a better job. What do you think?
Ladies and gentlemen, Karrnnel.
Par chez nous, on fait un bal composé de jeunes gens. Puis la plus vieille de la danse, elle avait bien 80 ans. Et elle s'élance dans la danse avec le plus jeune fringant des bergers des bergers au gaiement. Et elle s'élance dans la danse avec le plus jeune fringant. Puis elle lui dit tout bas l'oreille, mène-moi bien doucement. Oh, car j'ai bien dans ma boursette 5 ou 6 000 francs d'argent. Des bergers au gaiement. Car j'ai bien dans ma boursette 5 ou 6 000 francs d'argent. Et j'ai aussi dans mon étable 50 vaches et 10 bœufs blancs. Oh, il regarde dans sa bouche, elle n'avait plus que 3 dents. Des bergers au gaiement. Il regarde dans sa bouche, elle n'avait plus que 3 dents. Et une qui branle et l'autre qui bouge et l'autre qui tombe au premier vent. Oh, le lundi on fit la noce, le mardi l'enterrement. Des bergers au gaiement. Et le lundi on fit la noce et le mardi l'enterrement. Puis pendant qu'on enterre la vieille, oh, le jeune lui comptait l'argent. Et avec l'argent de la vieille, j'en aurai une de 15 ans. Des bergers au gaiement. Des bergers
We are wrapping things up tonight with Karrnnel and Daniel and Louis. Again, I'm never going to remember all those names. We'll do the wrap with you guys in a second. But first, if we could throw it back over to tonight's audio engineer, Mr. Brock Andrews. Brock, it has been a crazy night. Thank you once again so much for dropping everything and coming on as our audio engineer replacement at the last minute. Final thoughts, Mr. Brock Andrews.
This has been fantastic. It's fun to watch, fun to listen to. I feel like I'm dancing with Maid Marian.
That should be a quote. Karrnnel plays with so many amazing musicians. Of course, you yourself an amazing musician. Just during that last song, I was thinking, you guys could kill Devil Went Down to Georgia between the two of you.
I love it.
You know, that right there is a license to print money. Thanks again, Brock. You've been amazing support this entire season. Again, I don't know if this is going to be the last show of season 4 or not. We had a big idea to end the season with episode 125. And that kind of went out the window about 20 minutes before this episode started. So we may be ending tonight on episode 124. But regardless, thanks for your support this season, Brock Andrews.
Glad to be here, and I'm glad you guys are still going.
Awesome. Let's wrap things up, Karrnnel. Once again, I'm sorry, I keep butchering your name. So once again, these amazing musicians are, I'm just so used to like going on autopilot with a band name, Yeah. It's been so long since we've tried to, because I'm not that smart, so a long time ago we just thought it's a lot easier if Curtis doesn't try to remember individual names and just go with the band names.
And I messed that all up.
Yeah, it's okay. But who are these amazing musicians again?
Louis Charles Vigneault from the Magdalen Islands in Quebec, and Daniel Kulak from Winnipeg, Manitoba.
And for a chance to see you guys, plus the Eclipse Choir, go to the Broadway Theater Saturday the 18th. It's going to be an amazing show, you guys.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah? What can people expect that night? Pitch it one last time.
Basically, any kind of fiddle music from us, anyways. A bunch of fiddle music that you probably wouldn't hear. Different styles from around the country, and some great choir music with us as well, and a great band behind them. So everything, any kind of music.
Happy thoughts and birthday cakes. That's the new expression I learned in English.
Nice. Can you top that?
There's no topping an expression like that.
Did you guys have fun tonight?
Wicked.
Yeah,
That's great.
It was a crazy episode. That energy drink Brock Andrews gave me right before the show didn't help much. I'm a little jittery, kind of crawling out of my skin, but I had a lot of fun. Again, thank you so much for believing in Strip Down, requesting to come back on Strip Down. Makes us all feel really proud of our Strip Down product. Saturday the 18th, Broadway Theater. Before you play us out here, I guess, you know what? We're going to do one more show. We have to. We have to end the season on 125. I'm just thinking on the fly here. So we'll hammer something out in the next couple weeks. There may be a repeat or two, but trust me, we're going to have a huge season finale for season 4. And we'll say goodbye to Jennifer Juba and Jenna Giacomelli properly. There it is. Bang. For all things Strip Down, go to Facebook, find Strip Down, hit like. Again, thanks to tonight's cast and crew, our sponsors, Long and McQuaid, Ultimo Uramoto, and of course, Mr. Sicily's Pizza, which we are minutes away from eating. For the last time tonight, ending Strip Down's 124th episode, Karrnnel. Thank you so much, you guys. Good luck on Saturday.
personal appearance is not the best.
Coming up this week on Strip Down, we have a preview of a huge concert going down June 18th at the Broadway Theatre, playing alongside the Eclipse Choir. This week on Strip Down, it's Karrnnel.